Hello everyone, Russell Wright from Network Empire and ThemeZoom.com. Hey, we get a lot of requests for people who would like us to build their own personal brand broadcasting network, their corporate brand broadcasting network, blog networks, and the socially activated one web ring perpetual downstream traffic system, which many of our students worldwide are excited about because it actually works. It's white hat, so to speak, if you believe in the whole white hat, black hat thing. It's solid, stable, and it's about being able to get the widest reach in your market to own your vertical market and or industry. We talk about this in-house as swallowing your market whole in terms of broadcasting. This is my team. Sue Bell is the CEO of ThemeZoom and Network Empire. She's also a military level software architect for the U.S. military previously in a previous incarnation. And there's Matt DeCruz. He's the core. His core ideas are behind the software called Domain Web Studio, now called Network Empire Blog Builder Elite, among other names. And this team is pretty elite when it comes to my marketing skills and Sue and Matt's programming skills. We have an amazing team. Not the entire team is not shown here. Just wanted you to know that when we get to the third part of this video where we're talking about the execution plan that you might want to purchase, this is the primary team right here that's going to manage the outsource team and pull together the plan, the assessment, and the execution. Just so you know that you're in really good hands. We have live certification events all over the world at $15,000 per head. People love it. There's raving reviews. So that's a little bit about us. Okay, let's talk about what we can help you with if you're interested. This is the socially activated one web ring perpetual downstream traffic system. And in our $15,000 certification event, we do help people understand how this is put together. This is not a web ring in the sense of the old black hat idea of blog rings that leave footprints, and the sole purpose of a web ring is to get ranked, to drive page rank juice to your primary sites. Things have gone a lot past that since those days, okay? We're talking about personal brand social activated web rings that includes blog rings and PageRank and curation sites and video sites, all of these things. But it's not about gaming Google. It's about driving massive amounts of traffic, massive amounts of conversion, and ultimately increasing your bank account in the amount of money that you're receiving from your market or industry by carefully laying out a structure almost like transparency. Sure, PageRank and high PageRank rank flow is a part of it, but more importantly, traffic flow, social signals, all the things that are involved now in surviving and literally propagating your brand mimetically throughout your entire industry so that you literally have no competition. These are the things that we do. Okay, it's not really about gaming. It's not at all about SEO on its own. It includes SEO as a framework. So here's the process. This is the Network Empire custom network client process. Step 1 is the report, step 2 is the plan, and step 3 is the execution. Now you can buy the report on its own, and you can buy the plan, but you have to buy the report first. And obviously execution is not purchasable without the other two, so these are separate price points. Just want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. So here's step 1. Step 1 is purchase your site or network assessment report. The cost of this report is $5,000. This takes our entire team one full day to complete. That's why the rate is set. This is what it costs. It doesn't matter how big or large your site is. You're going to get a general overview report, and it's on a per site basis. In other words, you've got to have a transaction money site. Now, if you're in a situation where you don't even have a transaction money site, but you've got products or service and you're successfully in business, preferably 1 million plus, it's still going to cost you $5,000. We've had customers who have their entire business running on a Facebook fan page, for example. That would be considered your home page if that's where your traffic is currently flowing. Okay, so this report takes $5,000 of our time because the entire team has to be involved. The private phone Skype follow-up often takes several hours, a minimum of 2. Okay, so that's really why you have that cost involved. And once you've completed step 1, you may want to know what step 1 is made up of. Okay, so here are only a few of the steps that must be completed so that you know why we're charging you $5,000 for this assessment. Okay, we're going to give you a complete review of your deliverables. You'll be given instructions on what we need from you, and that's customized. That's different for everyone. Complete review of keyword conversion and the state of affairs for your specific business model. Keyword research, very important. And market research. Complete backlink review and assessment. We're going to give you complete branding review and assessment, which is huge. Complete social assessment. Complete conversion and persuasion architecture assessment. That has to do with SEO and your website silo architecture, which you probably know that we're famous for. Business numbers and metrics. Money site's relationship to your current network if you have a money site. And I referred earlier to the idea of a Facebook fan page being the sole core money site. We have had clients like that before, so that counts. Okay. Money site's current SEO problems, architecture, and spider traps. We look at all of that stuff for you. Your money site's conversion trap, and much, much more. This is just barely scratching the surface. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea. Step 2, if you elect to proceed after the assessment, some people do just purchase the assessment from us, and then they purchase some hourly consulting time in order to improve that assessment. But the other option is the plan. You can purchase your customized Empire plan. This costs between $5,000 to $20,000, and I can tell you right now that I have never seen a plan that costs less than $15,000. Most of the clients that come to us who can afford us really need something of that size. It takes 15 to 30 days to complete, more often 30, occasionally a few more days than even 30. The price will vary depending upon the size and the objectives in your empire. And the report is required. That's the previous step 1. Okay, before we can give you an estimate on how much this plan is going to cost, and your team may execute this, all right, or you might want to move to step 3. But first, let's talk about what this plan is made up of. Here are only a few steps that must be done to customize your plan. Determine and configure a precise step-by-step plan of your size and or network based on the industry and market segment to which you service or sell. Okay. We also have to determine and configure a precise, correct order to execute highly technical steps that will lead to more powerful SEO, stronger conversion, and wider audience reach. Very, very important. We also have to determine and configure a precise step-by-step team expense plan that will make sure that you do not overpay for people doing nothing because they have been hired too soon. One of the things I found that is the most valuable, is the top 3 most valuable things about our plan is knowing when to hire what professional person at what point in the building of your empire. I think this is the biggest money loss, sandbagging, overlapping, and scope creep, where people don't know that, for example, you don't need a social media person before the social media matrix and the SEO configuration is set up. There's a lot of things. So they hire everybody at the beginning, and then they lose a lot of money. We make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. Also, we have to organize a step-by-step high standard plan that will result in very little, if any, downtime for your website or business. And we have to create written steps in an executable format that can be passed off to your team or to ours. And we have to provide absolute clarity that your plan is very likely better than your current industry competitor, and much more. Okay, and we're known for this, so do feel free to look at our other documentation and some of our other teaching methods and our big ideas, because they're very important to making this happen for you. So step 3 is the execution. Hire our expert team to execute all of this for you based on our previous step 2 custom plan. Now, the time to execute is based on what we came up with in the plan. That was a previous expense to you and the previous project. You will know this cost after you have the plan. Okay, that's why I'm not putting a cost on here, because it can range to pretty small, meaning 5,000 plus, unlikely, but 5,000 plus, more like 10 to 20 plus, into the ranges of some clients that have been $50,000 to $100,000 or greater, large corporations, which is pretty small to build out the kind of thing that we're saying, because as far as I know, there really isn't anybody in the industry that builds out these kind of full-scale networks. And if they are, they're very quiet, and a lot of the times they're brought in-house to the larger companies. Okay, and once you execute this plan, or once we execute this plan for you, your costs will reduce. So I don't want you to think you'll be paying the recurring monthly. For example, if we charge you 4 months to execute this plan, the costs may be high in those 4 months, but then we will get rid of those costs by toning it down, because things will have started to become more automated and your team will become more effective, and you can choose to keep us on and our managers and our expert Network Empire team, or you might just want to take some of that in-house and start to reduce costs. That's all part of the execution plan that will come out in that 30-day period in the previous step. Okay, so this is really comprised of the things that we have to do in the execution phase. We must execute the plan that we create. Okay, and the plan could be pretty big, with thousands of tasks that need to be both overseen and executed in the correct order. Okay, that's where a lot of other companies will fall down. All right. gather our best team and resources to make sure we have our highly trained team working closely with us on the plan. Okay, this alone is worth tens of thousands of dollars. Getting trained to do the kinds of things that we teach. Most of our close associates and some of our team members that aren't directly a part of my company have paid upward of $15,000 to $20,000 to learn the things that they've learned from us, okay? Daily integration of the plan to meet the estimated deadline with as little scope creep as possible. We don't want any scope creep. Now, every technology company has unforeseen events and things that happen, so we can't promise there'll be no scope creep, but we keep that to a minimum because of Sue Bill's expert infrastructural and architectural experience in as a military software architect. Client relations and updates so that you know exactly what is happening each step of the way. We're going to keep you informed. We're going to communicate during this execution phase, okay? Testing and double testing each step for conversion, SEO success, social integration, and industry expansion. Also, follow-up support and ongoing management, which is optional. Once the plan has been executed, we have to be prepared for that. If you need our follow-up support, this can be arranged at a greater cost. There's much more, of course, to the execution phase, actually thousands of steps, which of course we're not going to put here. So again, this is part of the socially activated one web ring perpetual downstream traffic system. The sole purpose, of course, is going to be specific and customized to your needs. For example, some clients emphasize SEO in a big way. Other clients are really emphasized on tracking social metrics, while you have other clients that are really wanting to build out a large video aspect of their network. So everybody is customized, and we have all of this available for you depending upon your definition of success. So there's alternatives to the plan. We just want to make you aware of. Obviously, not everybody's going to be able to afford an assessment, a plan, and an execution of the plan, but hopefully we've conveyed the value and the expense required to execute something and build your own personal empire. So we do have hourly coaching at $300 per hour for non-members. If you are a networkempire.com private member, it's $200 an hour. Our day rate is $3,000 an hour. I'm sorry, $3,000 per day for non-members. Certification is a $15,000 5 or 6 day program, depending upon what certification event you sign up for. And you can find out more about that at themezoomcertification.com. Our video automation training is $3,000 for a 1 day go-to-meeting presentation and training. The Network Empire Members Area Training can be found. That's our cheapest solution with no software. It costs $49 a month, and you can visit us at www.networkempire.basic.com. And if you do want the software to go with it, we have several softwares that come with our Network Empire Basic Training area. You don't have to get all the software, and we have different price points based on the bundles that you need. So the Network Empire Members Area Plus software package, you can find all about at networkempire.com. You have any questions? Call 1-800-878-9935, or you can call us personally at 608-844-4301. Again, that's 608-844-4301. Also, if you want to send us an email, please do so at talktous@themezoom.com. My name is Russell Wright. I really look forward to working with you in the not too distant future.